Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thrive After Divorce show, where we give you the tips and tools so you not only survive through tough times in life, but thrive through them. And today we have Erika Pimentel. I've worked on my accent for that. Welcome, Erika.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Erika. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, thank you very much for the invitation.
Yes, thank you for coming. Erika is from Mexico, but you live in the United Kingdom now, and you say your name much more beautiful than I can, but I worked on trying. And you are here to give us some basic health tools and talk about our nervous system and creating healthy habits.
Yes, totally. Yeah, basically I use it in myself, and then I learn, I practice, and I found the way that you can get healthy in a very, very organic way. I mean, I will tell you my history, but it's very, very important before do something drastic in your life, just start in the basics. So yeah.
Sorry, my iPad where my notes just went off. I think it is answering a medical question. Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah, no, so you're going to help us, and your company is called Somatics.
Yes.
And
yes,
for someone not familiar with what that term is.
Yeah, I'm Erika, like you say, from Mexico. I'm living in London, and it's very, very dramatic change since a very warm culture, and here it's very cold. So when I came here, I have already all my training in body work, but myself, my body was in shock because the change, the weather, the people, and the society it was just very, very cold change. So I was deep in anxiety and depression. So I had a lot of treatments, but nothing helped me better than craniosaccharotherapy. And that works most in the somatic nervous system. So after all the trainings and all the techniques that I put together, I thought, what better name than somatic? But it was already taken. So I have to modify and put the E of Erika, of course, at the beginning.
Yeah.
But that is a really integration of all the techniques that I've been learning with the time to help people.
I am just starting to learn the somatic treatment. I know it's of the nervous system. And a very good friend of mine she used it very much to heal herself and her nervous system. And I probably needed it. I just have not been aware of it enough. And so it's interesting that you talk about moving from Mexico to England being a culture shift, both for you physically, externally, from the weather to what your eyes see to how the culture is. And when you said you went from a warm environment to a cooler, and you meant the personalities and the culture.
Exactly.
And, and that happens a lot in divorce in a similar way. You go from a culture of people or a neighborhood that you may have lived to flipping into a new environment. People may be treating you differently.
Yeah.
You know, at one time, maybe you're very close to a family that's now going to be your ex-in-laws, and they no longer feel close to you. Or so much of it is the same.
It's a lot of changes that happen as a person and the body. I mean, the brain doesn't really recognize what is wrong and what is good. It's just your response at what is happening outside. And the worst thing is that the people is around you doesn't understand what why is your reactions. But in the time that you are getting all this jackback, you know, the experience that you have already before and the new way to live, because even though sometimes you don't move from your house, but it's just this cold environment in the air, you know, it's like the person that used to be there for years, for example, or whatever, maybe 1, 2, 3 months, that is the same when you are very attached. And this emptiness that is in the environment, but is in your system as well. So it's the way that you adapt to the outsider. So it's the way that you respond. So then at the same time is understanding the body language, the body hormonal process, because of course we learn a lot of things, a little bit these basic things in school, but is not recognized. Even though the Western medicine doesn't recognize. When you are stressed, they give you painkillers.
Yes, they do, or antidepressant or something. I've never gone to a doctor, not a naturopath or something, but your doctor, and it's usually a prescription or something, but not a tool.
Not what you really need. Yeah, because we are so different. So our hormonal system works differently. Maybe it can attack my head. Somebody can be attacked in the system intestine.
Yeah, your
somebody
digestion.
Somebody can be hurt in the heart. So it's various. Depends of the personality, depends of the health, of course. So everyone wants same illness can be attacked in different ways. So that's why it's called the invisible illness, the somatization.
Invisible illness. And you're right, because we all experience, say heartbreak. We all know what a heartbreak is, but where it shows up in our body, it could show up as a form of giving you a headache. It could show up literally as your heart hurting. It can mess with your digestive and nerves. And you're right. So
the point is that magnifying whatever you have in the moment magnifies.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit trapped in your brain. It's not that you get diabetes for that reason. It's just because your health wasn't good, and then triggers in that time was a trigger. And
you know what you said that I really never thought of, that we really are literally moving to a cold environment. I mean, even if just how we feel and the emotion around us are new, and when our body is cold, it restricts.
Yes.
So if we're having emotions expand at the same time that our body is restricting, that's going to rupture somewhere. Like it can't fit. And so I just want to throw in, I know you have slides if at some point, or a presentation, whenever you feel you want to put those in.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
It's very interesting what you were saying, because the body contracts, and then that contraction means you don't breathe well, you don't sleep well, you don't drink enough water, or even though if you are so healthy in your diet, you don't have healthy meals. What I'm saying about healthy meals is you eat so fast, or you don't eat in the certain times. So all these contractions, it means the basic needs that we have, that we don't really recognize, because we already do, like breathing, seeing, water, blah, blah, blah. But then with these contractions, these basic needs, we restrict it as well.
And we have to figure out a way to unlock that restriction or release that tension. And you have the natural ways to do it. And I know in our previous meeting, we even mentioned acupuncture as a way of relieving. So you have all kinds of tools. And I keep looking at the patient behind you, that skeleton.
Don't worry, you're not gonna be like me.
He didn't try the tools and they didn't work. He's just your demo. Yeah.
He came too late. Yes, the thing is, acupuncture is one of my best treatments for myself and for patients. So whenever they come to me for cryosacrotherapy, for massage, for whatever treatment that I provide to my patients, I always recommend do acupuncture, because it really changed your biochemistry. So it goes directly to your nervous system. So whatever, it's two types well, there's many types of acupuncture, but about the needles is some small needles, long needles, thin needles. So that it goes directly inside to a nervous system. And what it does is just to help you to increase the regulation of whatever you have. I mean, of course, if you have headache, if you have any plasma stock, if you have anything that you have, the acupuncture is a faster way to relieve.
Yeah, you know, until I had talked to you in the last time when we were done, and I thought about it that day, and I was like, I've never really researched acupuncture. I mean, I've just seen it, but I never connected it to emotional pain, that it's the emotional pain causing the physical pain that we're treating with the acupuncture.
Yes.
You know, that
yeah,
it releases that emotion.
Exactly. For example, with my regular therapist, I work with the stuck trauma in the body,
right,
for the emotions. And I mean, I do unwinding because the shoulder is a lot of pain because it's a lot of resentment. So it's still there. It's stuck there. And I can do 3-5 treatments physically, but with acupuncture, it goes directly inside. And then start the like I said, biochemistry change. Maybe not one treatment, but start working after the treatment, after you go to home, and then everything is just changing because it goes inside. The information, it goes directly to the nervous system. It doesn't go like the treatments on the skin or in the muscle. It goes inside directly to the nervous system.
Yeah, it kind of like, it starts to unlock slowly.
Yes.
It's like a key, you have to click, click, click. It takes a few clicks.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, I'm sorry. I always, this is why he's here.
No, he's our first skeleton guest. I love it.
This is the nervous system. I mean, it goes out from the spine. The thing is, a lot of problems, you know, is the extremities, like the arms, the legs, the neck, but the base is in the spine. So once you treat the nervous system, the spine, everything unlocks itself. So when this is treated for acupuncture, it comes, you know, when they have the tennis elbow, they have tunnel carpal. It just go inside in the specific point to treat the pathway of the nervous system. It's not treating the arm, it's treating the nervous system.
And I think most people I know, at least, can relate to that term, I have a pinched nerve. Like that is more painful. A pinched nerves are so, like the tips of your fingers, your toes.
Yes.
Pinched nerve in your neck and you're like paralyzed.
Yes.
So imagine the nervous system being traumatized by pain.
Exactly. It's just the source of everything is the road directly to the brain. I mean, like I always say, all your organs are important, but the brain is connected to the nervous system, which provide energy and everything and all information to your organs. You can live without heart, you can live without stomach, you can live without kidney, you cannot live without brain. Brain. I mean, it's nothing most important, the brain and the nervous system.
Because they relate, they talk to each other, right?
Yeah, I mean, they are one, for example.
So if somebody feels like, do you think, well, okay, first question, do you think some people have a more active or more sensitive nervous system than other people? Like they react differently to sounds, they react different, or is that conditioning? Or is it true?
Yes and no. I mean, that's a great question, because the thing is, when you never, I mean, you are normal and then you become so sensitive, it's because all your energy is directed to some place. So the rest of your body is in survival mode. So the rest, you are living with the vital energy. So you're taking energy from the heart, you're taking energy from the brain, you're taking energy for the digestive system to cover your pain. So you became more sensitive. That doesn't mean that it's bad or it's good. That means that your body is in survival mode. But if you was born with that condition, that means is the way that you are, like people with, you know, autism or something like that, because they were born with that condition. But if you became, is because it's something driving all your energy in that place.
So for people that know their nervous system is under attack, like you can feel it, you have anxiety, you're not sleeping, you feel anxious, the pains are showing up. What are some tools or actions they can take to relieve that?
Yeah, it's very easy, but it's difficult at the same time, because they are basic and we hear everywhere the same thing. But it's about the constancy and the consciousness, because I mean, it's something that we do every single day. But if you really take time to do it and to be aware in the moment, for example, we brush our teeth, walking around the house. But if you do it, I mean, with the other hand, if you do it consciously, if you count it, if you feel the brush, if you see how I mean, it's totally different experience.
Yeah, I'm saying brushing my teeth with my other hand, because I'm like, I would have to really be conscious and think.
Exactly. And then if you're doing one thing to have a balance, it's a game that you're doing with your body. It's like, say, you have to breathe properly. And this is everywhere. And it's not about a yoga meditation. It's about how is your body. Are you big? Are you small? Are you always breathe for the mouth? Do you always breathe shortly, only with the breath? Also, this very, very, very virus. But one thing that you need to do first before to change anything, or even before to try to change anything, is to count. How many breaths do you do? How many complete cycles do you do? The normal cycle, it has to be from 10 to 20. Depends of the age, depends of the gender and the activity.
It's 10 to 20 what though?
Breaths.
Like per minute or?
Yeah, per minute.
Per minute, okay.
But like in cycles, inhale and exhale, 10 to 20 cycles in a minute.
So like, should you put a timer on for a minute and just naturally breathe and count what you would naturally breathe?
Yeah, however do you breathe. It doesn't matter if you do it from the mouth or the breath, doesn't matter. Because if you put yourself in stress, you will never change your habits.
No.
So you need to be comfortable and confident. Then change whatever you have to change. Once you have the rhythm, then you change the way.
And do you think too, becoming aware of the more in tune you get with your nervous system, you'll become more in tune with your environment and what works for you and what doesn't?
Yeah, that's very, very good. What I was going to share with you. And
sorry.
Is that, no, that's fine, because I doesn't need it anymore. Is that you have to be really, really in tune with your sense, with your sleep, with your breathing, with your water, with everything. You have to be comfortable with your body. And your body have to be comfortable with you and don't be in the survival mode. When you are in that stage, you can communicate with other. You can make a good choices.
Mm-hmm.
Because you cannot, that is one thing that is very important. Don't ever make choice when you're stressed.
Yeah.
Because you are not,
choice. Even what you eat isn't going to be a good choice.
Yeah. Exactly.
My friend that I was mentioning, that she's into somatic healing, and she's very protective now of her nervous system. She knows what, like, she doesn't watch the news, or she's a friend I know, I can send her a text and I might not hear back for a few days, and that's okay. I don't worry. I know she's protecting. If she shut her phone off,
Yes,
to not get overwhelmed, and she's so in tune with her nervous system, where I studied more my energy system, and I protect that. Like, if I know an energy is going to seep in that I don't like, but they really connect, because I know that bad energy is going to make me feel nervous, not make me feel great. But it's all energy, right?
Yeah, and it's very, very nice that you mentioned that, because that is very connected with limits. You can put limits when you don't know what is what you need, is good for you. Once you are comfortable with your system, with your body, then you are not, it's not allowed, but it's easier to put limits, because I always say the limits is your garden of flowers. Yeah. This is what you really want, and the other are in the gate. Yes.
Yeah, and the limits. What people, I think one of the hardest things is not setting the limits, but you yourself respecting the limits.
Exactly, because actually we are the first one to break the rules.
From boundaries to limits, it's like, if we can't respect it, how is anybody else going to respect it? And that takes courage sometimes, like, to say to people, I'm not responding. My phone freaks me out. It stresses me out. It's like ding, ding, ding. And you're like, oh my gosh, I need to respond. Or no, it's been 2 hours. I got to get to that. And life weighs on us without tools and limits.
Exactly. Like I say, you need to sleep. I don't want to tell you how to sleep, but I'm going to tell you the way you need to sleep. I mean, it's a very, very specific health of sleep. But what I really focus is, you have to be aligned, whether you are on the side, whether you're on your back, but your spine have to be aligned, because if you don't reset in the night, if you don't regenerate, your body will not have energy. If you don't have energy, you don't think properly, you don't perform as properly.
Right. I've never heard, I mean, it makes sense, but your spine has to be aligned. And so people that fall asleep in the chair, in that recliner, and you didn't get a good night's sleep, yes, usually you don't get a good night's sleep if you're not aligned.
Yeah, you are in your vital energy. What is the vital energy? The energy from your brain, your heart, your digestive system, your lungs. That is your vital energy. So you don't want to use your vital energy forever. You can use it once in a while, but not always.
No. What about, does your diet, if you play with your diet, does your diet affect your nervous system?
Of course. I mean, like I
would think, but I don't.
Yeah, it's not because I'm a dietist or whatever, but if you are involved and you need proteins, of course, and you need to get the source of proteins, whatever you vegan or not vegan, but you need to eat double. If you, like me, I work, like sometimes just computer, I will eat less food because I'm done using it, and then it's gonna store there, and it's gonna transform to grease, and it's gonna be just wasted. So the thing is, depends of your age, depends of your activity, physical activity, not mental activity, because
but you're physical.
Always, yes, exactly. We need to eat, and then the most important, the relation you have with the food, because of course you have a, like bad food, good food, whatever. But if you are fighting with what you are eating, your brain is start to make this or hormonal disbalance, and then that is go through your blood, and the time that is in your stomach, just explode. It's not about the food; it's about all the chemicals that you produce in your brain and in your digestive system.
Wow.
For example, yeah, if you have the tomato that is organic, and you always buy organic and inorganic, and you buy the inorganic because it was nothing else. But you have the guilt. Oh my God, there's gonna be no organic. Oh my God, and then you eat it, and of course it's gonna make you sick because all the chemicals that you have released in your system.
I have to plug in my iPad. I didn't realize it was low. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I usually see that before. What does fear do to the nervous system?
I mean, that's one of the things that you will recognize when you know your system. Fear is many things. Fear can be from loss of something, can be in the chest, feel psychological, can be feel in the head, or feel, you fear about trauma. There's some accident, some, like domestic violence, something. So it's different kind of fears. So you need to recognize it. What is it? It is real. It is affecting. I need to have proofs. For example, if it's psychological, what I can find that is true. If it is from someone that you lost, you have to give it time, because you have to pass that process. If it's something like a physical trauma in your body, you have to do something, like you say, when you contract, you have to do the opposite. You have to open the body. You have to retrain your body.
Yeah.
So you will know. Mm-hmm.
I'm always amazed when my body does natural things. Like if I get really nervous, I've had to give speeches, and then my kneecaps start to like go really fast, or your hands start to shake. And
Yes.
And so it's like our nervous system gets on steroids, and then how do we calm it down once it gets into that state?
And it's so nice that you asked that, because the excitement and the fear, they has the same effects, but we see in different scales of, the one positive and one negative is nothing positive, negative, but just to make it clear. So if you say to your brain, I'm so excited, that's why I'm feeling like that, your brain doesn't know, because they don't, the brain just believe what you're saying to the brain. So it's the same physical symptoms, but different situations. The only thing that you have to feel is comfortable with your body. Okay, this is excitement, because I know the information, because I know the environment, I'm safe, and then I keep going. So it's like 1 minute. I have one technique, it is 1 minute, that can help you for anxiety attacks, or switch from fear to excitement.
So this one technique, let's say, so what you're saying is somebody could be really, really nervous because they have to go see a lawyer or see their ex or go to court, or they could be really, really excited and nervous because they're going on their first date after being divorced, and it's coming, and you're getting those butterflies. We call them butterflies. But your mind or your body doesn't know the difference between good or bad. It just knows you're feeling.
Your body symptoms are happening. Yes.
Yeah, your symptoms are happening.
Yes. And then what you have to do is just mobilize all the body, because there is trapped. So they are in the survival mode. So
Yeah.
you need to mobilize all the adrenaline.
Yeah,
and
I
say,
don't
okay,
think I've noticed until now that, yeah, my symptoms, if I'm really excited or really scared, they both can end up being a shaky hand putting on mascara, you know?
yes.
And it could be because I'm excited to go to an event or because I'm really scared to go to an event.
Yes,
But I've named them different. What I've named
exactly.
as a stomach ache or being nauseous or I feel sick to my stomach is the same as butterflies and excitement. I've named them to match
Yes, exactly.
my
And
environment.
yes, and everything, that's the one thing in the world that we need to retrain, because everything has labels and our symptoms, they're different. I mean, like I say, I have anxiety, I have whatever, it's gonna feel different. So I have to recognize what is my experience, my process, and then have the contact with, okay, I know this is gonna happen. I know that I'm gonna have tests. Gonna have whatever tomorrow at 1. So I make myself ready for that moment.
So give us some tips. What do you do besides, I know you sleep parallel or you sleep aligned before the night before, but what are some things to prepare ourselves to be ready in that moment that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I call like I mean, get your energy back and retrain your sense. What I'm meaning, your basic habits, you can really retrain it and get your energy back. What I'm saying is breathe properly.
And what is that to you?
Start with the 10 to 20 cycles of breath per minute.
Okay, 10 to 20 cycles should be our norm, 10 to 20 per minute.
Yeah, whenever you breathe, because you have to start for the base. Once you have the rhythm, you can do whatever change you want, and it will be smooth and will be last long. So you need to sleep properly. What I'm saying is, if you have cycles of sleep, you have to have complete. If you need the alarm clock in the morning, that means that you don't sleep properly. You need to wake up naturally. Yeah. You need to be free. No rings, nothing, even the underwear have to be loose, because you need everything flow. You know, the blood, the lymph, the fascia, everything, you're in regenerate state. You need everything free. So if you sleep on your side, you need to put a pillow here, because you don't have bones. Everything collapses. The spine have to be aligned. You have the ribs and you have the heels. I mean the hips. So when you are on the side, you need support. You can put a towel, hand towel, or whatever that cover the support that you need, because everybody wears different. You need the perfect pillow. Doesn't have brand. Is the one the size of your shoulder. This is the perfect pillow for you.
Oh.
The other pillow have to be in the knee, between the knee.
Okay.
And the last,
so it keeps you aligned.
The last but not least is one in the feet. Both feet over the pillow.
Oh, okay. Then you really are aligned, because you're right. Even if we lay on our side, we're not aligned. Our spine is.
And I'm assuming that you have orthopedic mattress. Because if you have very hard, if you have a very hard mattress, it will be, I mean, pain in the shoulders, pain in the hips, everywhere. If you sleep on your back, you need to put support in your cervicals.
Yeah.
because you need the occipital be free. So the support is in the cervicals. Again, the perfect pillow is the one, the perfect pillow is the one that covers the size of your neck.
Or neck. My
Neck.
pillows are way too big. I love them. I'm not giving them up, but my king size pillows, so they're too big.
Yeah, because then you just sleep like that, and maybe your husband or your parent is happy because you don't snore, but it's not healthy. Oh, sorry. But and then another pillow in your knees.
Yeah, because that really takes pressure off your back too.
Yes, yes. And if some ladies, they have beautiful hips, they need another support on the lower back.
Yeah, like that.
If they sleep on the back, then normally they always sleep on the side. And
so,
then
I was gonna say, so you set yourself up for a good night's sleep. Then what do you do when you wake up without your alarm?
without your alarm, then you move, because your brain is inflamed. I'm sorry. Your brain is inflamed. So you need to do any movement exercise or breathing technique, because your brain is so inflamed that doesn't send the right signals to the nervous system. So you do cardio, you do tapping, you do qigong, you do yoga, you do breathing exercises, you do whatever you want. That's why people need coffee, because the coffee, it helps to the brain doesn't get normal size. But if you do any activity, your brain follow.
Oh.
And then the light is very, very important, the light, because the blue light is called when it's just the sun rising or just going down, sun rising or sunset.
Yeah.
Is the perfect time to get the blue light. And then that in the morning helps to the melatonin to keep going, and then in the afternoon to start. So it's very important to have direct exposure, different times, of course, in different country, but at the beginning of sunrise, when the sun is just a little be coming up.
It reminds me of the Ayurvedic lifestyle.
Yeah, because that helps you to balance the circadian rhythms. Everything, I mean, our heart has a rhythm, or everything has a rhythm. We only hear one because it's too loud, but everything has a rhythm.
And we've been put in, like, people used to get up naturally with the sunrise, where now we may be in a bedroom with blackout curtains and our body can't follow that natural rhythm.
Exactly.
And I've even read where really far back, where people lived outside, a woman's natural cycle, it lined up with the moon, and it kind of knew, like, the night was bright, and as the night got darker and darker, something with its body would know to release once a month. But
detox,
like our cycles and how it goes with the natural cycles outside. And I bet there's a lot to it, that our nervous system is meant to be in like a cohesive environment and in rhythm with nature, and we've been fighting that.
Exactly, because then we're putting too much clothes, we're taking too much clothes, we just cover the sun because too bad. I mean, the sun never been bad, just the timing that you take it. And it's very, very important to detox at the same, before to sleep, detox everything 1 hour, 2 hours before. No blue lights, I mean artificial.
Okay.
No telephone, no Wi-Fi, everything is off 2 hours before the sleep, because your body needs to be ready, because we are inside, we have all artificial environments. So we need to try to come back the more close to the natural environment.
And that sounds like it could be a vicious cycle, because somebody who's feeling anxious, anxiety, your nervous system's out of whack, to sit in silence or to be alone or to turn those things off, you're getting rid of the distractions. And maybe, you know what I mean? What I mean, it might all of a sudden,
Yes.
it might be very uncomfortable at first.
Yes. Yes, it is. But they always, that's what I'm saying. Once you know how to breathe properly, when you know to drink water properly, there's another trick with the water.
How? What? I'm like,
the water is magic. The same as the breathing is just magic when you use it properly. But the water now, I'm going to tell you, the cold water, the glass of cold water can give you the same amount of energy that the Red Bull if you drink it when you need it. The cold water is to wake up your sense. I mean, you don't have to go like Wim Hof inside the ice bath, but you can wash your face with cold water, drink glass of water, very, very cold water, or simply put your hands in cold water, and then you're gonna wake up. Whatever you're gonna do, whatever, if you're almost fall to sleep, you're gonna wake up.
Yeah, because it triggers your vagus nerve or something, right?
Of course. Yes.
I'm asking. It's what does it do? It does something to some nerve. Is it the vagus nerve?
It's well, it is everything, you know. Okay. It's just wake up all your senses.
That cold, because you know what? I was interviewing someone and I committed to doing, and I did it. She said at the end of your shower, like your hot shower, put the water on as cold as you can, the coldest, for as long as you could take it.
Exactly.
And I committed to trying it, and I did it. And I mean, I hopped out. It woke me up. It changed my shower. Yeah. It was, instead of walking out of the shower like, oh, in my towel and oh, I feel so snuggly, and I was like, whoo. Like,
yes. And this is a trick, like I said, you do cold, hot, cold in the morning, and in the night you do hot, cold, hot.
So in the morning, if you're taking your shower, you go, what was it?
Cold, hot, cold.
In the morning, cold, hot, cold. Nothing like jumping into a cold shower in the morning.
I know.
And then at night, you're going to go hot, cold, hot.
Hot, yeah.
And it's shocking your system.
Yes, yes. And it's to make it ready to sleep. It's just like the hydrotherapy. It's hydrotherapy. It's anatomy, hydrotherapy. Because we are making water. So it's the connection, it's the language that is getting ready. Warm is getting ready.
What does that shock of cold at nighttime do when you go hot, cold, hot?
Because you're gonna make the switch. You need to see it's get ready. It's going to, because you put only hot. It's like okay, but you know we are still in the same routine, the same thing.
Yeah, so but it's not telling your system.
Yeah,
you're training your system.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll try it. I'll keep. So what about drinking the water? So we drink the ice cold water to wake up. What about, is there a way
to be alert, to be focused?
To be focused as ice cold. Yes. But what if you need to calm down? You're having a panic attack. Your nervous system is off the charts. Can water help then?
Yes, but I don't really recommend you cold or something. I think for the panic attack, the best thing that you need to do is come to something firm, because your body, your system is expanding. It's out of control. It's not you. If you say, oh, read, oh, this, do this, you're gonna fight with everyone. What you need, that's why you need to train. You need to have these tools already in your mind, right? Because you need to go to something with you need to have something firm to have support. You need to sit, you need to hold from, if it is not the wall near you, something that gives you security.
Could even, so if you hold the wall, you're going to feel secure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was having a panic attack one night, and I was like, I took a shower. I was trying to do what I would do with a baby, like the swish, swaddle, sway. But after that, I wrapped myself in a blanket thinking if I could could myself.
Exactly.
Like you do with a baby, if I swaddled myself.
Exactly. It's so, that works for you, but some people, they don't have blanket in the street, or when they go in the tube, when they go, you know.
Sometimes, if you're in the middle of work and you can't just grab a blanket and curl up.
Exactly. This is my gift for Christmas to my clients. Well, something more beautiful. It's a little pillow with smells that you can have in your pocket. You can put lavender, you can put rosemary, you can put your favorite perfume, and have it with you. And then you can squeeze, you can hold it so hard. If you don't, you can't find anything to support yourself. And that can give you the safety that you need.
It does. Like a baby does that too, with grabbing its blanket. A baby that's always, you know, working its blanket or holding that blanket.
Yes.
That's a good one. Have a little safety satchel.
Safety tool in your pocket that you can get anywhere you go. I have another one that is like a little piece of spring that you can just play with it. Okay. It's some rings that you can just play with.
Spinner rings. Or what about if someone knew I'm going to be nervous, like wearing a beaded type of necklace where you could work the beads?
Yes.
What else? Oh, I've told clients, but like I'm not a somatic coach, but even if you have a favorite perfume that you spray, just even smelling that can snap you out of it. Yes. Just take your mind.
Yes. The best sense, because I work a lot with oils, is Melissa. Melissa. It's like citrus.
Okay.
Like citrus.
Citrus.
Like it give you, like it bring you back. And rosemary too. But Melissa is more like focus, awake. Yeah. So when I recommend before any breath technique, any water, whatever, in a panic attack, is just feel safe. You need to know yourself and know what make you feel safe. Once you're safe, you can start with breathing techniques, with water, with whatever.
And I've heard too, if you like think of the rainbow or pick a color, like colors, and start scanning the room and think, I'm just going to look for shades of blue.
That's my blue. last
Oh, tell us, say it in your words then. I just heard a brief, I heard a brief snippet of that, but I haven't heard the full. So you please.
Yes. I mean, we did the breathe, the sleep, the water, the diet, the light, and the last is that explore your sense. Not only when you have a panic attack, but every single day, because we're different. I mean, more as women, we feel different in each day or if you are in a period, if you are in a period. Yes. So explore your sense. Go for a ride this morning, how I feel, because it can save your life, you know?
Now, so what about, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
I was going to say, as being a woman, in that we do every day, our emotions change, our bodies are changing, our water weight's changing. Do you recommend tracking it at all? So you can maybe see certain times that you're going to be like, my nervous system, you know, like we track PMS, like I know, but I might get shorter or snappier, but I never thought of it with my nervous system.
Yes, for sure. It's very, very handy when you are irregular or regular that you know what, I mean, you recognize what you're going through. Or today it's gonna be very, very tense. Or you let them know to your daughter, your son, your work couple. I mean, whatever. You let them know. Today I don't feel good, or today I'm 100%. And then your social relation, it gets better.
Yeah.
Your interaction.
When you kind of know, or I've tracked, for me, my nervous system or my sleep, especially my sleep, really is affected by the moon, full moon or new moon. But it took me a while to go, I never sleep when it's a full moon. I cannot sleep.
Yes.
But there's different factors.
Yes, because it's just physics.
It's the water.
Water. Exactly. Yeah. We're water. It's just more tense or more dilute. So that's why we, in a specific period of days, we need to do more physical activities, or we need to do less. We need to do more special food. We need to avoid some special food. The thing is, we have to go back to the ancestors. That's, for some reason, that's why it's like, specific fruits, of seasonal fruits, because we do go, no hibernation, but our body in winter, it works different. It works very, very different. And once we start knowing ourselves, we will relate to the environment much, much better. We cannot fix anything if we don't know what to fix.
You're right. And it's our nervous system and brain, like you said, they're one.
Yes.
They're one. And so if your nervous system is off and you're not feeling right, you have to look at it emotionally, but physically as well.
Yeah.
Do the physical things to calm or shock.
Yeah, I always recommend. I mean, this is the explore your five senses, like you say, stay here, like what you see, what you hear, what you feel, what like everything, taste. Because even though we haven't eaten anything, we have different tastes. And notice, maybe you don't notice because you never put attention, but it is different. So we don't recognize something, we know something is wrong, because these reflexes. Oh, I have a strange flavor in my mouth, on time, before it gets, more serious. And then the other thing, I'm sorry, is the somatic tracking is very important every day. It's just like I say, it's just see the temperature. We don't want in our body any inflammation or any cold. It's like the ride. We explore part by part every single part of our body. How is the temperature? How is the mobility? How is everything? And then at the same time, we are moving, not like exercising, but like conscious movements. And then we see is a restriction there. And then we see what is it. If it is cold, if it's warm. If it's cold, mostly is some restriction. If it's warm, it's inflammation. So we don't have any of those. Never. So that is what you have to do every single day.
Pay attention. And I ask this in most interviews like this when it's about the body and the mind, because I think it's so important. It's just my gut feeling that's important. But what social media does to our nervous system.
Oh, this is the quick dopamine that now we have instead of some other drugs. I feel so related with now is the quick dopamine. We need likes, we need to check, we have the FOMO to lose some important information. So that is very synthetic dopamine that we have coming in our brain that you need more and more and more and more. So it's definitely we can control with some natural physical presential activities. Like what I'm saying is like you have to see which one or what is doing in your daily life. That is important. Are you making your life from that?
No.
Okay, you put a limit. And then you find another activity that give you the same dopamine, but it's presential. If you don't have this activity that give you the same quantity of dopamine that the social media, you will never leave it.
No. And isn't it, do you think, important to make sure you have things on your algorithm, social media, that don't agitate you?
Yeah, what I'm saying is, but the thing is different. It's difficult. Sorry, it's difficult to understand which one is bad and which one is good.
Oh,
because
it's getting back to the brain. The brains are real. The dopamine
doesn't know. Once you're engaged in the media, you lost. That's
right.
Why you need to.
Yes. See, there we go. Because how you said, it's, you know, we name it or whatever, but our subconscious doesn't know bad, good, whatever. And so it doesn't really matter what's on the feed. Yeah. It's pulling us in, whether we have butterflies and puppies or war and wounds. Our brain is still getting
more
dopamine hit and wants more and more.
Yes, that's why if you don't have something that excites you or give you the same pleasure, you will never leave it.
No, it's like a drug.
Yes.
And that's so important. That is a huge, I learned a lot today, but a huge lesson as a reminder. I knew our subconscious and conscious, like, we don't view ourselves bad. Our conscious might, but our subconscious doesn't really know good or bad, or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, but our emotions are the same. That our body, we've named it good or bad, but our body feeling it, reacting to it.
Yeah, our brain is a little bit lazy. They don't like to work. The only thing that you have fast is the latest memories. So if you repeat it, it will come again and again and again. But then if you say, okay, wait a minute, I know, I see it, but I don't want it, I want something else. If you make the decisions because you engage with your body, because you don't like the feeling that you have in your body, because you don't like the emotions that is this breathing, because you notice that your breathing change.
Yes.
Because you notice, you know, that, oh, my mouth is a little bit dry, because you start to notice.
Or I don't breathe. I hold my breath. Yes. Also, I'll catch myself and I'm like, I'm holding my breath. So we've learned you want to have ways that are handy to keep yourself safe from something to hold, smell.
Anything, yeah.
Yep. And then, you know, the power of getting yourself ready with a good night's sleep. And I love how you said in the morning, our brain will follow. Like if we start in movement, our brain will follow. But just remind me again, the retraining, like if I brush my teeth with my wrong hand, or I've heard, try in your head to think of like 3 different ways you could get to work instead of always taking the same route.
Exactly. Because you, like I say, your brain like the easy things.
Yeah,
and the easy things, exactly. It will go and come back and come back and come back. But when you change, then it will learn something. It will be alert and will be willing to modify these habits. This is called epigenetics, that we can do ourselves. I mean, we have our DNA, but the epigenetics is these molecules that we change with consciousness. I mean, we can get off of drugs. I mean, like addictions, for example, internet. We can go different kind of the habits that we can change. just retrain our brain. But the brain will follow when the body feels safe. When it feels safe, when it breathes properly, when it sleeps properly, when it's no pain, no inflammation, and no restriction.
Wow. And I'm like, I'm going to try the shower tricks.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm the morning jumping into a cold shower, but I'll see the difference it makes.
Yes, in the night when you sleep.
Yeah, and at night, yeah, doing the reverse. Going hot, cold, hot doesn't sound as bad to me as cold, hot, cold.
Yes, very extreme in the morning.
It's
yeah,
extreme,
but I mean,
people swear by it and have done it for cultures and centuries for years. So,
yes.
now tell us where and how. I know you're in the United Kingdom, but people can still work with you over the internet. You probably can't
Yes.
do acupuncture. No.
No, because I'm still training, but
But I bet
yeah,
that's one thing that they haven't, you can't, there, I didn't know if there's a substitution that you could tell someone, I don't
yes,
know. But how
acupressure.
can they find you?
Yeah, acupressure is very, very good. So I can do acupressure online as good, not as fast, but good. I'm in Instagram as a somatics one because the somatics normal is my personal, but LinkedIn, like my name, Erika Pimentel, and Facebook as living craniosacral. It's a little bit difficult, but
well, and we'll have it all listed. We'll have it all listed. And if there's anything you want us to put in addition to the links, any information or anything you want to share, we'll have that. But you have been so helpful. These tools, they're just, they're common sense, but they take awareness and commitment to make a habit of, I'm guilty of about everything you said. I turn the TV off, I go to bed, I read a book, and then I wonder why I can't fall asleep.
Yeah, and it's only if you try for 5 minutes every day, one thing every day.
Yeah.
5 days a week, one thing every day, focus 5 minutes. You do, and you will see the changes.
Hey, before we go, I have one last question. The idea that we should be breathing, like if I set the timer on my phone for a minute, and then I just breathe my normal breath, not trying to play games or cheat the system, just breathe. What does it tell me if my number is much higher than 20? Like, what if you don't fall in that 10 to 20? What does that tell you?
Yeah, if you breathe 40, 30, you have short breaths. You need to, once you get the rhythm, work in deep breaths. If you have 5 or 2, that happen, is that you hold your breath too much.
But does one represent the other? Like if I'm breathing fast, does that represent usually a very anxious person? Or if you breathe really slow, does that represent maybe depression? Or does it correlate with anything?
It can be the person normally the holds is because they has a lot of tension. Mm-hmm. And is anxious, like because they're first fear and something, they have fear of pain, whatever. So like I say, all the bodies represent things differently. So it doesn't mean any specifically, but it means that you need to focus in that. So once once you go to the rhythm to 10 to 20, then you know what you want to fix.
Yeah. And like you said, pick one thing, do it for 5 days. Or to me, it's like you've given us the tools to have an emergency kit ready, like a safety kit, a first aid kit, where practice. And so when that moment hits, putting my hands on a wall help. Or having one of those rings you talked about. They have really cute ones on like Etsy. A spinner ring. Yeah, like if you could have that, but if you're going to be in a place like you're going into a meeting or at work, and
you have necklace,
like set yourself up with that toolkit, and an experiment. Like I said, I'm going to try the shower tricks. I might love it. I might just try it once, but I'll know what it does.
Yes, yes. If you want focus, remember water, cold water.
Water, cold water. Even like you said, putting your hands in it, putting it on your face. What about does it help? Does it matter if you're hitting those pulse points, like under your arms or your neck? You know what I mean? You have those different.
Yes, for focus.
Like for cold water, like if you said put it on your face, if you took that cold washcloth and
I mean, for the face, when you want to focus, I always, always say around the eyes here, always put water, and here. A lot of people have tension in the masseter. So here some pressure points, 10 seconds, and it's gonna hurt. Yeah.
Right. What about, so you're doing this, you're making yourself feel good, you got the water, you're waking up. One last question while I have you here, because you're so good at it. What about, do you have certain, because you said you worked with oils, any certain scents you recommend to reset our nervous system, like peppermint or?
Fresh, always citrus.
Citrus
and eucalyptus. Eucalyptus does the magic. If you are mad, upset, very, something going on, eucalyptus is the best. If you just want to, focus or start fresh, lemon, melissa, lemongrass, anything citrus.
Anything citrus is a good calming.
Yeah.
Or invigorating. Just
activating,
activating.
Yeah, but eucalyptus is just change everything, just break everything, and completely change.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Even as it gets colder here, which isn't often, I live in a very hot state, but at night when it does, even stepping outside on the cold patio, it changes my body.
Yes. And because you have cypress outside.
Cypress, okay.
Yeah, cypress is to give you strength, more for women, strength.
Cypress, and I know people wear that bead a lot, cypress, the stone. So if you can put oils on the bead and then play with it, and you have a triple tool.
Exactly. You see? Yes, of course. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Erika. It has been a pleasure. I've enjoyed meeting you, and I look forward to learning more from you in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much for your invitation. I really enjoy it.
I did too.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're fun. Thank you.